What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 4 Millionaire Maker.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video. After I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools, I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, NFL Week 4. Let's take a look at the quarterback position. So my Millionaire Maker quarterback for NFL Week 4 is Brock Purdy from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have the 10th worst defense overall, give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Brock Purdy has averaged 18.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 3.3 rush attempts per game. And he's projected at 17.6 fantasy points here in Week 4. He's $5,900 DraftKings salary, $1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 44 points scored in this game. They have the 49ers favored by 14, so you do want to be careful there. I wouldn't stack on Brock Purdy too much. There is a chance that he gets ahead by a couple of touchdowns here and it turns into a running game script. Although I do think Brock Purdy can be a big part of those touchdowns. So I like Brock Purdy here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, he scored 23 fantasy points last week and he had 4 rush attempts. So it's a good matchup. They got a good offense. So yeah, I like Brock Purdy here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. So my Millionaire Maker running back for Week 4 is Alexander Mattison from the Minnesota Vikings playing the Carolina Panthers, who have the 11th worst defense overall, give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Alexander Mattison has averaged 12.3 fantasy points per game on the season. He's getting an average of 13 rush attempts and 5.7 pass targets. So he's close to 20 touches a game on average. Now last game, he got 20 rush attempts and 7 pass targets. So he's capable of a lot of volume on the field for 77% of the snaps, projected at 12.1 fantasy points here in Week 4. He's only $5,800 DraftKings salary, $1,400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 45.5 points scored in this game. They have the Vikings favored by 3.5 here. So a close competitive game, a fantastic matchup, and a guy that could get close to 30 touches. I mean, he got 27 touches last week. He catches the ball out of the backfield quite often here. So I think this guy's going to be a fantasy DFS stud this year. So I like Alexander Mattison here versus the Carolina Panthers.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. So my Millionaire Maker wide receiver is Tank Dell from the Houston Texans playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have the 7th worst defense overall, give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Tank Dell averaged 18.4 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's getting an average of 7 pass targets per game. So he's projected at 10.6 fantasy points here in Week 4. He's 4,600 DraftKings salary, 1,600 more on FanDuel. Okay, so Vegas thinks there's going to be 42 points scored in this game. They have the Houston Texans trailing by 3. So Tank Dell scored 29, 20, and 6 fantasy points in the first 3 weeks of the season off of 7, 10, and 4 pass targets. So I like Tank Dell here versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you could also go with a guy like Adam Thielen. We did pick him last week as one of our picks. He got 14 pass targets and scored 35 fantasy points. He's only 4,500 and he has a great matchup versus the Minnesota Vikings. So if you play the Minnesota Vikings stack, you could run it back with Adam Thielen and he could go off. That game script looks like it could be lining up. It's a fantastic matchup for Thielen. So I think he's a good millionaire maker pick as well. But I'm going to go with Tank Dell here versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the tight end position. So my millionaire maker tight end is George Kittle from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have the 10th worst defense overall, give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. George Kittle has averaged 9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 82% of the snaps, projected at 11.4 fantasy points here in week 4. He's 5,100 DraftKings salary, 1,200 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 44 points scored in this game, with the 49ers favored by 14. So George Kittle scored 16, 6, and 5 fantasy points in the last 3 weeks off of 9, 3, and 6 pass targets. So he got 9 pass targets last week, and I do expect that volume to continue. So I like George Kittle. I'm going to stack him up with Brock Purdy here versus the Arizona Cardinals.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. You've unlocked the bonus content.
Okay, so here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here, and we've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Brock Purdy, James Cook, Alexander Madison, Terry McLaurin, Tank Dell, Tutu Atwell, George Kittle, Devontae Adams, and the Titans defense. So I absolutely love this lineup. It's a balanced lineup outside of Devontae Adams as your stud pick here, but you got a lot of good mid-range players. James Cook, Alexander Madison, Terry McLaurin, Tutu Atwell, George Kittle. All those guys around 5K, 6K salary. So I love this lineup. I'm going to save it so I can optimize it later if anything changes. Okay, so here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, We have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Brock Purdy, Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard, Tank Dell, DJ Chark, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, Kyren Williams, and the Rams defense. So we got 900 salary left over here, so we could upgrade a guy like Terry McLaurin if we wanted to like Brandon Ayuk. We could do a double stack here with Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle. Let's go ahead and do that. So I like this lineup. So I'm going to save it so I can optimize it later if anything changes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.